What's up everybody, it's Lo, Beauty Demon, and we are back to talk about internet BS. So today we're going to be talking about Katie Joy without a crystal ball getting slapped with another lawsuit. You can't make this up. This is just insane to me. But before we get into that, if you have not already, please don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the bell icon so you get a notification every time I post. And don't send anybody that we talk about in this video any hate, negativity, nothing like that. These are just my thoughts and opinions based on what I'm seeing play out on the internet. So if you have something to say about what we're talking about, just shoot it down in the comments below. That's what they are there for. All right, now let's get into Without a Crystal Ball. She has a very interesting history with defamation lawsuits. Her channel is another like drama, commentary, gossip tea channel. I would call it more of like a gossip channel because she talks more about reality TV shows. Specifically, she started out talking about like the Duggars all the time. She used to talk about 90 Day Fiancé. I think there was like a whole thing where the guy from 90 Day Fiancé, the one that was just sentenced to like a bunch of time in prison for like beating his girlfriend and I think kidnapping her, he was like harassing her, so I think like she pressed charges there, which is like totally, that guy is insane. But her real cash cow is the Duggar family. But she also used to talk about a couple other creators who are not so happy with some of the things she's been saying. She started her career on a blog. It was like a Christian blog, but she wrote for like the non-Christian side and was always talking about how she wanted to expose snake oils, which is what brought her to at least her first publicly, at least my first publicly known about her defamation lawsuit between her and beauty YouTuber Tati Westbrook. So when Katie does videos, or Without a Crystal Ball, whatever you want to call her, when she does videos, she doesn't always portray it as these are just her thoughts and opinions. Sure, she does have that disclaimer, and she might say it in her videos, but the way she speaks about things is like, she presents as being very factual, and she also like calls herself a journalist or an investigative journalist. That, in people's minds, automatically gives her a little more credibility, when really she's just a person like me sharing her thoughts on the internet. So Katie would frame all of this stuff as she was exposing false claims. So Katie's alleged defamation attack on Tati Westbrook was through her company Halo Beauty, which is a vitamin company. She framed it as she was exposing false claims that the Halo Beauty and Tati Westbrook specifically were making. But then it started to get deeper, and she started to try and dig into Tati's past and pull up birth records and information about her father. When she couldn't find that information about Tati's father, she jumped to conclusions of he's either dead or he's in the mafia or something like that. She also dug into Tati's husband and alleged that he killed his mother, which I'm not going to go into that. I think he took her off life support, which is a whole different thing. But she framed it as he did this to get financial gain from it, and it resulted in a lot of stuff with his family. Basically, she dug into things that she didn't need to be digging into and twisting them around. And it was these statements, and I'm sure plenty of other things that I am missing, that led to the defamation lawsuit from Tati Westbrook. And I feel like around that time, it was extremely chaotic. Like every day, it was just like something new was filed, or something new came out, or some action was taken. It was just, there was so much happening, which is why I don't even think I really had a YouTube channel at the time. Maybe I was still doing beauty stuff. I don't know. It made my head spin, and it still did while I was researching it, which is why I'm not diving too deep into any of the lawsuits because there are other people who are more qualified to do that than me. In the end, Katie lucked out though, because the lawsuit was initially dropped. It was dropped in the state of Washington because it had to be filed in the state that Katie lived in, which is Minnesota. And instead of refiling there, their teams were able to come to a settlement agreement, so she didn't pick that lawsuit back up. And when they settled, Katie would like take that as like she was victorious or like she won, but that's not what it means. It means you settled, so that means like it didn't go to court. Katie did post a video announcing everything that had happened. It was like a 4.5 minute video. In it, she also said that she gave Tati her anonymous private source who was giving her her information about Tati, and it was actually Tati's business partner, a man, well, former business partner anyway, a man she was already in another lawsuit with over Halo Beauty and Tati Beauty. So when that suit got settled, a lot of people were surprised. I would say there were probably several disappointed people because she does have a whole hate community around her, and that is not what this video is. This is not a hate video. I'm just talking about all this lawsuit stuff. But I think regardless across the board, everybody hoped that this would be like a lesson to her to just kind of adjust her approach to things and how she says things and how she presents information, but instead of learning any sort of lesson on how to prevent another lawsuit from occurring, she became very smug. And then after that, she became very like almost concerned with like legal battles, and even recently has still threatened to sue some other YouTube commentary creators because of how they cover her. They express distaste for her and she doesn't like that, but she sits on her channel and expresses distaste for so many people. And one of those people is somebody who she's already had a run-in with before and had like legal interaction before, which is a man named Steve McRae. Now, I don't pay too much attention to this community, but I believe there is now a lawsuit between them. I think he sued her. She alleged that I believe he like was inappropriate with her, like in a conversation, and it was deemed as sexual harassment. So she had like a protective order where he couldn't speak about her or something like that. Regardless, she has made claims and statements about him online, whether either on her channel, on Twitter, or on Instagram, and he has decided to take legal action. I believe this lawsuit is still open. I couldn't find like a lot about it, but considering like the size of the lawsuit, it was kind of like off my radar. Maybe it was just like the sheer magnitude of just how many lawsuits she has, but I kind of forgot about that one. Regardless though, Katie just went on her way, continuing making her 8 million Duggar videos, and she spoke about other like reality people. One of those people was Todd Chrisley from the show Chrisley Knows Best. Now, I've seen this guy before. I've never really watched this show. I think I've probably caught like the beginning of it or like the end of it if it was coming on like before or after a show I was watching, but I don't really know anything about him. I actually had to look him up to see like why is he even famous, and he is like a real estate mogul in Atlanta. He had some tax fraud stuff going on, I believe in like 2012. His show Chrisley Knows Best started in 2014 and it features his whole family. Like I said, I have no idea what happens in that show. I just always assumed they were just like charming Southern people. I think they do like home decor stuff now, because I think I've seen his wife make like, she has like a platter line, like a serving platter line. And I think I saw that like on the show Home and Country. Don't judge me. I have watched that before, but it's because it comes on after the Golden Girls, like in the morning. Now, Todd Chrisley also has his own lawsuits going on, and that has been what Katie has been reporting on. She has also made some other claims in relation to Todd Chrisley and his estranged daughter, Lindsay, who Katie was friends with, but it seems their friendship has just ended because people notice that they are not following each other on Instagram anymore. But it was because of things that she was saying, her friendship with Lindsay, that Todd Chrisley started to hone in on Katie Joy. And he would even publicly call her out on his podcast and say that he was going to sue her, that she had information, leaked information from his daughter Lindsay, and he was going to subpoena that information for another case that he has, I believe, still actively going with the US government and maybe the state of Georgia. I don't know. Once again, there's so much legal stuff happening there. It made my head spin. So when Todd Chrisley started publicly threatening a lawsuit and threatening to serve Katie Joy on podcasts and things like that, Katie would publicly scoff at it and kind of pop off and be like, he's not going to sue me. That's not going to happen. Then when the paperwork got filed, her reaction was completely different. So he slapped her with a defamation lawsuit. There were a lot of claims made because she put forth a lot of claims that I'm just not even going to. And there's a lot of like moving parts in it. I really just want to focus on Katie being sued relentlessly. But somebody learned a lesson from the Tati lawsuit, because Todd Chrisley actually filed in the correct state, in Katie's state, instead of his own. Katie, or Katie's attorney technically, then in response filed a motion to dismiss this, and there was supposed to be a hearing for this back in January, but the hearing was postponed because there was actually some paperwork not filed correctly. So, but instead of it being rescheduled, both teams came forward, both the Chrisley team and Katie Joy's team, and said they want to move into discovery, meaning they want to move into digging up the dirt and the truth according to each side. And that means they want this to go to court. They want to be seen in front of a judge. And you see a jury in a lawsuit? Yeah. I don't know. I've never really been in a lawsuit before. But like, honestly, the fact that they both want this to go to trial is like I get it from Todd Chrisley's point of view, because he wants to kind of make like a public example of Katie. But Katie, do you really want this to go to court? I just feel like that is very expensive and time consuming, and it's just, why is she egging that on? That, I believe, is scheduled to go to court sometime in 2023. But like, for real, I have never heard of somebody other than Erica Jane from Real Housewives of Beverly Hills that always just has like new legal stuff coming out like every day. But this is not the end of Katie Joy getting defamation lawsuits. Oh no, 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 no. So a couple months ago, Katie started teasing this like big story, and she was gonna start talking about it more on her Instagram and then eventually bring it over to YouTube. And it was about this cult and how they were holding people against their will and controlling them. And this turned out to be about a dance management company called 7M on TikTok. Katie alleges that the dancers that are under this management group are actually in a cult, and they are being held against their will. They are not allowed to see their family. This is also in part because the head of this management company, she's also part of a church that is not like a mainstream church. She makes claims that the name 7M is in relation to some kind of religious significance from this church, and this church said, no, this isn't even part of our thing. She also specifically focuses on one of the dancers of this group, a woman named Miranda Derrick. So she focuses on her because I believe Katie saw a TikTok of Miranda's parents making a plea saying Miranda's being held against her will. So they were kind of the ones that proposed this idea, and Katie just absorbed it because maybe she's just a little gullible too. I don't know. But what's going on with Miranda is she is a professional dancer. She had a TikTok account with her sister. She started dating a black man, and her parents didn't like that, which like, so she left. She moved out of her parents' house, or maybe they kicked her out, I'm not sure which one, and now she lives with the man that she loves. She lost access to her original TikTok account that she built with her sister, so she made a new one, and she works with the 7M management company now. So her parents think that she just left and joined a cult, when it's like, no, you just didn't accept my partner. But these are also common problems of family not liking who their child is dating and a rift happening. It doesn't mean that she's joined a cult. But Katie latched onto this because Katie likes exposing cults, advocating for victims, and, you know, making money on social media. So because of the claims she made on YouTube and Instagram and maybe Twitter, Dr. Robert Shin, who is the head of 7M and this pastor, and maybe 7M, the company itself, has done this too, I'm not sure, are suing Katie Joy without a crystal ball for defamation, for painting them as a cult that is holding people against their will, and probably other things. And 7M or 7M Films announced on their Instagram that they were going to be taking legal action, and they did file a lawsuit against Katie Joy Paulson. And it's weird because it's the only thing they post on their Instagram. They are solely on TikTok, but they were like, we need to go to somewhere that she's really gonna see this. And they said the following. Let me take a drink before this one. And they said the following: 7M Films is a talent management company that was born from a series of collaborations between a video director, Isaiah Shin, and a group of talented TikTokers who felt like they were spending too much of their creative energy focused on business deals that often went unfulfilled and unpaid. Without proper representation, the dancers felt the industry was taking advantage of their hard work and skills. The dancers knew Isaiah's father, Dr. Robert Shin, was a respected businessman, and asked if he could help with their business affairs so they could focus on the creative side of their work. Since August of 2021, the influencers on 7M's collective roster have grown from 3 million Instagram followers to 11 million in 7 short months. That is a testament to the hard work and talent of our artists, and 7M is proud to be part of their success. It is true that the CEO of 7M, Dr. Robert Shin, is a pastor of Shekinah Church. I hope I'm saying that right. I'm sorry. It is not true there is any business affiliation between the two entities. The church and 7M are run and operated separate and apart from each other. It is quite common for a person of faith to own and operate one or more secular for-profit businesses. You do not have to be a member of the church to be represented by 7M, nor do you have to be represented by 7M to be a member of the church. Any claims to the contrary are simply wrong. The church is a Christian church that was formed in 1994, and contrary to false and inaccurate reports of the press, it has nothing to do with the 7 Mountain Mandate. 7M has no affiliation with 7 Mountain Mandate. The M in 7M refers to Millennium, a fact which is well documented in its business filings. We are extremely proud of the work that 7M has done as a talent management firm, helping so many influencers reach their audiences and find success in the entertainment industry. The style and professionalism of 7M talent set them apart, and that's why so many brands have expressed an interest in and have had great experiences working with our talented group. For reasons that are not clear to us, an online blogger named Catherine Paulson, who has been sued by other parties for making false and malicious claims on her site, started a campaign against 7M and the clients we manage, including despicable acts of trying to turn a private family dispute into tawdry public scandal. She has recklessly defamed many innocent individuals in the process, and she should be held accountable. 7M is exploring and will continue to use every legal means necessary to address these false and unproven claims in a court of law instead of the court of public opinion. We are confident that the truth will prevail in the end. In the meantime, we continue to stand by and support all 7M clients and their families and friends in whatever endeavors they choose to pursue. It saddens us that they have to endure this unwarranted campaign of hate that is impacting the lives of so many innocent people. So then Katie was served. She posted pictures of the entire summons on her Instagram. I believe it is now deleted, but her response to this was, "Game on. Counterclaims coming your way." Oh my God. She apparently plans to countersue for $10 million. Now, I don't wish ill will on her or anything like that. I don't want her to lose her income because she is the sole supporter of her family, and I know her son has medical needs and she has to be the one to support that stuff. But if she wants to keep her job, is she going to adjust the way that she comes at things? Apparently no, like I said, based on her answer to this other lawsuit. So now this is 3 defamation lawsuits happening at the same time. And she says this comes with the territory of her work. I mean, yeah, I do think there are journalists who get sued for slander and defamation or libel. I always forget which one's in print. However, I don't think individual journalists get sued as often as Katie thinks. I don't think this is normal. I feel like if that was true, we would hear about this more often, but there is like a whole freedom of the press thing, and journalists do a lot more vetting with their sources and actually come with a lot more facts and will actually have real retractions posted in things. She totes herself as an advocate for people in need and an investigative journalist, and she is neither of these things. She did not go to school for journalism. There have been people who have publicly reached out to her needing help and guidance from allegedly escaping from a cult, and she had zero resources or places of help to point this person to. She's not an advocate or a journalist. She's just another person like me, just talking about stuff online. And unfortunately, her approaches continue to get her into lawsuits, but she thinks this is normal. It's not normal. She takes it too far, and Katie just continues to egg this on more and more. And this was kind of what I thought would happen. Well, not to this extent, but I was like, well, she didn't learn anything from the Tati Westbrook case. This is gonna happen again. If you don't learn your lesson, it keeps repeating itself until you do. And unfortunately, sometimes people like Katie just never learn the lesson because they just don't see it in front of them. Which, I mean, I feel like with this kind of lesson, literally slapping you across the face, how do you avoid it? I mean, not to mention the fact that Cardi B just won a defamation lawsuit against a YouTube drama channel who made some pretty disparaging remarks about her that I would say sometimes the things that Katie says could be on the same level as what this other person was saying about Cardi B. She has won a defamation lawsuit against this person. If I was Katie hearing that news, I would be shaking in my boots because now there's more precedent for a kind of case that she's involved in. I don't know. I feel like Katie should have some sort of person that she has view her videos, like an outside third party, to tell her if she should be posting that kind of thing or not. Or maybe she just needs to take a break and like reevaluate some stuff. I just don't know how somebody can afford all of these lawsuits. That is it for today's video. If you have not already, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Like I said, don't send anybody we talk about in this video any hate or negativity, nothing like that. Keep it chill in the comments. I will see you guys next time. Laters. Bye.